in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Window World Wednesday, January the 28th, 2026. Eula will be in a little minute. Bock, lots of news today, Bock. We will cover the football schedule. The first loss of the season for the men's basketball team. We will talk about Bill Belichick being snubbed by the Hall of Famer on first-year ballot. Bock, Nebraska men's basketball team lost to Michigan 75-72 last night. The number 3 team in the nation versus the number 5 team in the nation, Bock. And I was very disappointed, not in Nebraska, but in the officiating of the game. The way the game was played at the end, I think the refs gave Michigan that game, but this Nebraska teams put Big Ten teams on notice that we will not go down without a fight. You're talking about a team that didn't have 2 starters. They're banged up. Guys got the flu. One guy ankle was hurting real bad. But in the end, Bock, we still was in the game to the end.
Yeah, we were. It was a great game. It's one of those things, and you don't want to take moral victories. What does Kenny Wilhite always say? Close, or close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades and all that. I think Nebraska fans walk away from that and can be very proud of the effort put forth. Because you mentioned, they were 9.5-point underdogs opening up. Just going into that game, that's thinking you have rink mass. When you don't have, including the Braden Frager injury, when the rink mass sickness news kind of came down, it's like, well, you usually run out, a 6, 7, 8-man rotation when you're playing basketball, and you're down 2 of your 3 leading scorers, and you're taking on this team that's just averaged 92 points per game and scoring 100 plus in many of their games. And yeah, they might have cooled down of recent, but they are the number 2-3 team in the nation. I don't care who you are. If you got an undefeated record, if you're in the top 5, I don't know how many teams would be able to beat or compete with a top 5 team on the road without 2 of your 3 leading scorers, much less lead the game for 36 plus minutes. It stings a little because Nebraska had it within their grasp, but I still think Husker fans come away maybe more proud than what they were going into that game. And the nation was convinced. Nebraska's national championship odds went up after losing a game there on the road to Michigan.
Buck, I love this team. I love the way they played last night. This makes me a more bigger fan of this basketball team. Yeah, they're going to go deep when we talk about tournament-wise, because now you've letting every team in the Big Ten know that, hey, we can come to your court and beat you, but can you come to our court and beat us? So that's the thing we have to worry about. We have to get these guys healthy, Buck. Sam Hoiberg played his heart out last night. Some calls didn't go his way. Jamarcus Lawrence played his heart out. Price Safford played his heart out. It was an all-around effort from this team, Buck, and I can't take anything away from these guys because now I'm a basketball fan. I need to get me a University of Nebraska basketball jersey.
Right.
So, Buck, I'm just real – I wouldn't even say surprised, just the shock factor on how they was able to handle themselves with 2 guys being out and still lost by 3.
Yeah, it really was incredible. And as we bring in Todd Euler here, it is Window World Wednesday. Good to have you aboard with us here, Todd. I know you've been jumping on the Nebraska basketball bandwagon as well. And what was your thoughts for last night's game?
I'm on the bandwagon big time. Yeah, it was. What a fun game to go into Michigan. Didn't know really what to expect. How good are we? I think that's the thing with all Husker fans. We know we're really good now. Right? Like, yeah, we went into Illinois and beat Illinois, but can we, there was kind of that separation. Like, Michigan's one of the elite this year. We went in and gave them everything they could handle, like you guys said, with 2 of our top guys out, which was crazy. It was just a lot. It's just a lot of fun to watch these guys play, and they're, I kind of call them the misfits, right? I don't know if we have a 5-star guy on the team. I don't know if they do stars in basketball, but
yeah, they do.
That's how much I follow basketball, right? But yeah, it's got everybody. Every Husker fan is now a basketball fan. And they should be. And if you're not, then get on the bandwagon. Let's ride this thing. See how far it can go. Obviously, big test this Sunday against Illinois. I can't even believe I know the schedule. So that's I just I'm like, man, I'm gonna watch the women tonight. So it's good for Nebraska to have this team doing what it's doing. Just to watch the effort. Jamarcus there in the first half. I mean, it was literally he could throw up anything. It was going in. It was a lot of fun. And to lead the game for as long as we did, right? I think you said 36 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like we let it until the last minute, in my opinion. Like it just felt like we kind of had it in control for most of the game until, like I heard Terrell. I was driving here. I heard Terrell. Some of the officiating was definitely suspect at the end, but it also we got the monkey off our back, kind of. All right, we don't have to worry about being undefeated anymore, right? I think that probably added a little bit of pressure to these guys, and it's gone now. Now go out and play and go win, the rest of your games, and I think they can.
Well, and that'd
be fun.
Part of the story too. Even last night, you have to go deeper and deeper on the bench, right? And that's where they found Leo Curtis.
Yeah, I never even seen him play before. And in comes this guy, and. So it's awesome to see, and obviously without the rotation of Mask and the other guy, can't think of his name. I always forget it.
Braden Frager.
Frager. Without those guys, guys probably played some more minutes than they. Maybe they just got kind of tired at the end. Like just kind of ran out of a little bit of steam there. So hopefully down the road, that's not going to be an issue.
Well, Nebraska had 4 guys over 35 minutes.
Yeah, right.
When you look at Michigan, they only had 1 guy or two guys over 32 minutes. So, and they had most of their bench with him, and we only had 7 guys rotation. So that's the kind of hard rotation when you talk about that. 7 guys out of 5 guys on the court. So, that kind of shorted us up with the big man Rick Mass being out. But I think once we get healthy, once we get everybody back to this winning thing that we've been doing here, I think it gives Coach Hoiberg, a lot more different looks he can go through. Just getting those 13 minutes out of Leo Curtis, that helps a lot. So I never heard of the guy Jerry Garcia. He put in 10 minutes, but he didn't take not one shot. So we got to get these guys more courage and
Garcia plays a little bit. I mean, he's been playing it, and he doesn't. I mean, he's just kind of that situational player and gives guys some breathers. So, and occasionally he'll knock down a 3 here and there and get some rebounds. But yeah, he's not a big time part of it, but he is crucial to getting some of those guys rest, I think.
All right, Bock. First half shooting by the period. Nebraska, first period, 59% from field goal range, 19 of 32, 52% in the first half, 10 of 19 from three-point land. When you look at the free throws, we was 2 of 2 for 100%. Bock, that's one thing that hurt us is that we've gave them an opportunity to go to the free throw line too much. I think it was 24 times, 23 times, and we only did it, 4? So big advantage on that part. Rebounding doesn't look bad for they got a couple of big guys, but they defensive rebounding was 26-16. Totals was Nebraska 23, Michigan 35. Having Rick Mass and Frager there, I think that knocks that down. So, but I'm not upset about it. I'm upset more with the referees and then of the play of Nebraska because those guys played their butt off.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, I mean, there's room for that. There's always going to be judgment calls and tough calls. Certainly a lot of people thought the Sam Hoiberg could have been a charge there at the end. Bang, bang call. Again, sometimes we want the refs to swallow their whistle and let it play. Other times when it's our team, then we want to argue for it. So it's kind of interesting. Nebraska did have shots at the win after that. So I don't think, the crowd's not happy with it or the Nebraska fan base definitely doesn't like, especially the free throw disparity there. But also that's part of how they play. Nebraska.
We fouled them.
We fouled them, and that's part of it. They're a very physical team, bigger team. Nebraska started, I think it was Coach Hoiberg said, Kel Jacobson was giving up quite a bit, half a foot or something in his matchup to begin with. So they're a physical team, and Nebraska shoots threes, and they're 2 leading free throw attempters on the year, by the way. 2 of their top 3. Prager's tied for second, and Rink is number 1. So guys that do occasionally make it to the line weren't playing.
Yeah, I thought Jacobson. I thought how they called the foul on him at the end, and not the 7'4" guy from Michigan. I looked away, and I'm like, why is Michigan shooting free throws? Like, how was that on Jacobson? But Jake he played his guts out. It was fun to watch. He just dribble around all over the place and then pull up and hit a little shooter, and it was fun to watch. That guy have a pretty good game. I mean, he played a lot more minutes, 27 minutes last night compared to probably his average of 10. So stepped up, and it's great to see these guys be able to do that, right? Because you get into the tournament and some guys off, we've got some guys that can come in.
Yeah, after watching that game, I think Nebraska should probably be no lower than a 3 seed if they could just keep playing like they're playing. I mean, basketball has its own mind when we talk about, there's any given day you're on a neutral court for Big Ten tournament. So we'll see how that goes. Still got a lot of games to play. Yeah. They have a big game coming up this Sunday against Illinois, whose probably last loss was Nebraska. So you have to watch out about that game coming up here. They're going to want revenge. So, Bock, what do you think about the Illinois game coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Nebraska was the last team to beat them. Since then, they've rattled off, I think it's 9 in a row since then. So, big win against Purdue their last time out. Purdue now has dropped 3 games in a row. So that's something to kind of pay attention as they are just around the corner for Nebraska as well. But again, after the game, you look at the standings. Yeah, it's disappointing to lose. Nebraska's still 9-1, tied for the top of the Big Ten, along with Michigan and Michigan State. Of course, we know within that, you're not going to regain that tiebreaker. That's it might ultimately come down to last night, which would be very frustrating if it does come down to that tiebreaker. The Michigan State, they're thinking the same thing. Their tiebreaker with Nebraska is done. They don't play them again. So Nebraska at least has the edge in one of those tiebreakers. But Illinois is one of the best, hottest teams that we've seen. The big question for Nebraska fans is going to be, do you get your stars back? Ringmaster, of course, dealing with the flu. You would hope by Sunday you can get that pass through. And then of course, with Braden Frager coming back, there's more. I guess the more days between it, the more likely it is that he's going to play, and people think he's probably projecting toward playing that game. So it'll be just as big if Nebraska can win that game. Yes, the undefeated streak, the undefeated dreams finally come to an end. But again, that hasn't been done in a college basketball season since 1975. So the likelihood that Nebraska was going to go undefeated was not all that high all along. We can accept the loss, but it's very interesting, too, about last night's game. I wanted to point out as you were breaking down the halves there, it had become a little bit of a trend recently that Nebraska didn't start as quickly, make the halftime adjustments, and then kind of get it rolling. Last night, the complete opposite. Yeah. I mean, you watched that first half and the level of which both teams were hitting, it looked like an NBA game. It really did. It was 50-48 at half. And then Nebraska, of course, as we mentioned, everybody cooled down. Nebraska didn't even hit a three-pointer in the second half. Michigan was struggling to get any points going through 6 minutes of that first half. But man, absolutely tale of two halves. And you got to believe that that's where part of that not having as much of a rotation started to affect Nebraska in their legs.
1 of 13 in three-point shooting in the second half.
Okay. Did get one. Did get one.
7.7%. I mean, two more of those go, and we win that game. But pretty crazy, a lot of fun. It just a lot of excitement around it, and I think they'll keep doing great. So, and just keep doing what they're doing. They're working. They play so hard and so physical, and never give up. That's what we want to see.
Well, again, now they've got you mentioned Illinois, then at Rutgers, and then Purdue. Like I said, Purdue's a big game. They might be top 20 by that point. They're kind of falling down, like I said. But from there, you don't have a ranked team on the schedule. Iowa is bordering that. They're actually co-top 25, or tied for 25th in the coaches poll. So they're right there. But there's no reason to believe that Nebraska is going to lose a handful of games here down the end. Like we said, as long as they can stay healthy. And I thought that as far as injuries yesterday. And then, of course, you have the sickness pop up there. So, that's sickness or injuries, I suppose. But, yeah, when we're talking about seeding and respect that Nebraska, that's the biggest thing. Nebraska got a lot of respect last night from a national audience that might not have been watching them as closely or more often. And then you kind of see the headlines going into it, watch Nebraska kind of control the pace and lead for the majority of that game. I think a lot of people are coming to the conclusion that Nebraska's legit now, and legit in this conversation means a national championship contender. And oh boy, is it going to be a fun ride again. Well, this might be a little bit of a bump, but if this is the worst part of the season, if this is the loss and you feel that great coming out of it, again, maybe no moral victories, but at the same time, we all know kind of how the odds were stacked up against the Huskers and how they did there. This season just continues to be such a fun ride. And again, I can't wait for the atmosphere at Pinnacle Bank Arena against a top 10 Illinois team, maybe fully loaded for Nebraska as far as bringing their guys in.
Yeah. Only two more teams undefeated, Bock. We're looking at an Arizona team, and we're looking at an Ohio team that won yesterday. So only two teams left that's undefeated. We'll break down more of this game, Bock, as we get closer to the weekend for the Illinois game. I think when we've seen all we want to see, Bock, we just have to keep motivating these guys, keep cheering them on, keep hope alive. More than that, I'm just excited for this basketball team. And I was hoping they was win because I was going to post something, football didn't go our way, but basketball is still going the way we want.
It is. We'll keep it rolling, boys.
So you usually have your crying meme. What is it? You still do the crying Jordan memes?
Yeah, I do 'em
Yeah,
every
put
once
that on
in
the
a while.
Michigan guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad they won.
Yeah. Can't do it to my Nebraska people.
And no, you don't do that.
All right, 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt here on Window World Wednesday with two-time national champion Todd Euler in the house. We'll be right back.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on Win the World Wednesday with two-time national champion Todd Euler. I'm going to read some of these quick takes right quick. Insightful dude said, Michigan being as physical as they are just wore us out down at the end of the game. But I think with a full roster, we win against Michigan more than we lose.
Yeah, I think a lot of people came up with that conclusion.
Yeah, 0326 says, I agree with the rotation, but not playing bench players more is a choice. You're right. 0159 says, we got an update on the guy that rolled his ankle. When will he be back? I'm unsurprised on how we played with the amount of fouls that we gave up. It shows that this team still has heart and want to win. Go Big Red. Yeah, I like this team, like I said. But let's move on to the Euler Report with Todd Euler, his Window World Euler Report.
All right. Well, I haven't been here.
I haven't seen you in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I went out to
you pulled somebody on
Montana.
us.
I was last Wednesday. I was in Montana for my granddaughter's first birthday, so that went well. Montana's beautiful. If you go to my Facebook page, you see some of the stuff I posted.
Cold?
No, it was like 25 degrees and no wind. It was great.
Oh, 25
No, that's not cold.
Yeah.
It's not cold. Not cold when it's like negative here.
Yeah, well, it's better than here. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, well, today's a beautiful day. We're out installing a bunch of windows today. But yeah, Window World's been good too. The Power Hour, every Saturday at 10, we got that going. Thought it was crazy. I was in the gym last week. Maybe it was the week before. I can't remember. No, maybe it was last week. Last Thursday, I was in the gym and this girl's working out and she's got Iowa sweats on and a Husker t-shirt. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I had to give her a little flack about it. I'm like, what's with the ensemble here? And she's like, oh, long story. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that was it. And then happened. And I was like, man, she looks really familiar. So I thought she's over 6 foot. She probably played at Iowa on either the volleyball or basketball team. So I did find her And so I found it on Instagram and I said, hey, now I know why you have Iowa gear. But yeah. So
now, why was it?
What's that?
Why did she have Iowa gear?
She played volleyball at Iowa.
Okay, so she did play. Yeah, fair enough.
So I was like, oh, that's her. So I messaged her, and I'm going to try to get her on the Power Hour. And see. I mean, I don't know what she's doing in Lincoln. I asked her, I said, so what brought you to Lincoln? And she said, my car filled with my things. She's pretty
move somewhere.
Little smart reaction. And I left it at that. So I don't want to be that old guy. Right. But I'm always intrigued with athletes, right? Like, and that's what I try to bring people on my show that obviously have an athletic background or still doing athletics. I had hopefully a future women's Olympic wrestler on my show. Travis Clark, who's now an 11-time world champion in jiu-jitsu on. Buck Rasmussen, who won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. So I try to get, people like that on the show when I can. So if you guys got connections and people want to be on a show, reach out to me. I love to feature. I like to feature local businesses as well on the show if I can. So, but yeah, great couple of weeks. I think the week before was I busy doing? I don't know. I've been busy. Fly out to Orlando on Friday. Gonna go meet with the company that I've been working with here the last couple of months with a product called Balance Oil. It's an omega-3 product, so gonna go meet kind of ownership, that kind of stuff, and then I get to meet with one of the doctors, Dr. Michael Lewis, who wrote When Brains Collide. I'm super excited to actually get like a 20-minute interview with him because of how important omega-3s are with contact sports and head injuries. So I'm excited to get to do that and meet him and interview him, and I'll have some of that for myself to distribute about why it's important for omega-3s. So, but yeah, otherwise just grinding. Trent's in full swing of winter conditioning. Kind of pretty much with them announcing that spring ball starting February 21st, I believe.
Yeah.
He will miss spring ball with the shoulder injury, which he's not happy about. But it is what it is. He's got to get better first.
If they would have done it late in March, you might have been able to make it.
Yeah, he probably would have made some of it. Right.
Yeah.
So 6 months will be March 11th.
Okay.
And that's pretty much full, hopefully 100% March 11th. Not sure when they started spring ball last year, but it's probably pretty close to that. So we thought, but now they're starting February 21st. And if he's going to miss those first 3 or 4 weeks, there's no reason to even warrant, potentially hurrying things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, but otherwise, life's great. Grandbaby's number 2 is 1. She's a lot of fun. Starting to almost walk and almost say grandpa. But a lot of fun. And then otherwise just, it's been surprising how many windows we've been able to get in and stuff done with the weather, but obviously that little cold sprout and the snow slowed things down a little bit. But and I think what
you were looking at my screen.
I know. I'm like, oh, what are we watching here? Yeah. We got some oldies but goodies here.
Some 90s highlight tapes
90s,
or what?
Yeah, is Terrell in this?
Watching Oklahoma. 95.
Oh yeah, we killed.
It popped up, so I was going to watch a couple plays while you do uniform. Did you talk to your son when Eckler left? Did he was he kind of down?
Yeah,
Eckler played a big role in helping your son
yes.
get through the season. With Eckler being a Nebraska guy, your son being a walk-on.
Yeah.
How did he feel about that departure that was left?
Yeah,
by?
he very, very kind of upset about it, but understanding. That's kind of how life goes, right? I think Eckler had probably more influence on Trent than most coaches, but he does. I mean, Rob, the linebacker coach, Coach Rob, he loves Coach Rob as well. So, but yeah, I think that's, you know, you're going to probably lose some coaches. We were pretty lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
know
think
what
we
I
was
mean?
pretty lucky. I mean, I think when we
in this day, yeah, like it's crazy how coaches move at this point. It's crazy to me.
You know, the crazy part about this Eckler situation, that he was able to go to USC and get the associate head coach job. That was the part that really shocked me, is the value that he brings, especially to the linebacker unit. When you look at some of the kids he brought in and his special teams play and his enthusiasm for the game. You know, I think we're going to miss that part when we talk about how hype he's been for this university.
Yeah, I think going to practices and watching, you've gone and watched, and I've gone and watched, and without Eckler under Rule and with Eckler, much different practices. So I think that's going to be key if we can find a guy that'll bring that kind of enthusiasm. But Trent really thinks that the new defensive coordinator, Coach Rob, too.
Yeah.
Got a couple Coach Robs. Is that guy. Like, he feels like he's pretty intense and, you know, that kind of not necessarily raw guy, but
yeah,
he's a lot more vocal, and it probably more like who's our defensive coach? Tony
Butler.
No, what was his name? Our defensive
Tony White.
Yeah.
I just
Tony
combined
White,
both
Tony
of them.
Butler,
yeah.
yeah.
Tony
Right.
Butler. Yeah, he was
You
a
know?
former Nebraska player a long time ago. I got him confused.
So I think hopefully, you know, our new DC is going to step into that role, which would be even better than just your special teams guy being that guy, right? So, but yeah, definitely some shake-up stuff. You know, obviously the turnover in the locker room and the new guys and that kind of stuff. So going through all that during winter conditioning, Trent can't catch a break. He's now on the injured, so they go in with the freshman. He's like, this is the third time I've had to work with the freshman, and he's just like, man, I can't catch a break, because the freshmen typically screw up a lot, so they got to redo a lot of stuff. He's like, man, it's killing me. He's like, you know, and Trent's like, I don't know if I should be, you know, mean to him. You know, like,
be the leader there.
You get your stuff together, right? Like, he goes, man, it's irritating. But I said, well, you go through things and you learn from it and get better from it. He goes, it's rough, Dad. You know, he's like, I can't believe some of these guys come in and, you know, hands on their hip. Like, you're not allowed with Coach Campbell put your hands on your hips. Like, or like, you got to take it.
Show signs of,
you know,
fatigue.
So it's pretty interesting. You know, these kids come in as freshmen and you just came from high school. You know what I mean? Like, this is the real deal. So pretty interesting. You know, and most of these guys are the best dudes at their schools. You were that way. I was that way. I was the best dude in I could get away with whatever I wanted to.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I wasn't the best dude on my team.
Yeah. Well,
I think I played with I could say probably 4.
How many of them are in the Hall of Fame at their schools?
Well, you know, some went to I had one go to Georgia, one went to Mississippi State. One of them went to Troy State. They was pretty good athletes, you know.
But they're not in their school's Hall of Fame.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you're the best.
I did want to ask you too, Euler, before we get the Euler report done. And you might have been able to speak about this already, but the Trey Taylor, Tay Ellis stuff. I know specifically from you, you're really into high school football and the competitive level, and the Millard South story is chapter 2, right?
It's pretty interesting what's going on at Millard South. And here's the deal. They got it figured out somehow. Everybody else got to catch up. All right. It's a fact of life. You better figure it out. You better get with Nebraska if you're a head coach and say, hey, let's bring some of your guy commitments over here next year. Right. And there's, you know, and obviously in any situation, you got people on both sides of the aisle. Right. One of my best friends, Paul Hazard, he's on the Kearney school board, great friend of mine. And he is just absolutely, you know, dead set against this and how the NSAA has let the entire state down. And I mean, just like come on, Paul. Like, it's football, right? Like, I have seen some pretty funny things about it because people are like, oh, just wait. So-and-so's coming back to Millard West's drama club. So it's pretty interesting. I obviously it's an issue. Millard South last year ran through everybody. And I was fully expecting at least the state championship game to be somewhat of it was not.
Yeah.
But if you look at Class B, Class C1, Class C2, lots of times you're going to see the same thing. You're going to have a team that has put it all together, and it's their year. My state championship, I believe it was 48-12. And that was at the end of the third quarter because I didn't play in the fourth quarter. So, there is, and I can say watching Trent's high school career in the 4 years, he played C1 freshman, sophomore year. There was 2 or 3 teams that were pretty good. That was it. And then we went into C2, and there's 2 teams that were pretty good. I mean, those two, Norfolk Catholic was it. And they beat everybody pretty handily, including us. I think 21-7 his junior year, and then we lost by 5 his senior year, right? But nobody else was within 25 points of them. There is that difference. Millard South just gets, obviously they've got Division I recruits. They got all this, so they're getting this whole thing. And once again, other teams got to figure it out, and they will. It'll catch. It's Millard South's ahead of the curve. I'll tell you, Battle Creek in the 80s was the first real team to get in the weight room, kind of like Nebraska in the 80s and the 90s. Battle Creek was in the weight room. We won a lot of games. I think I said my brothers and I went 135-20, right? In the 14 years we were at Battle Creek. But we were in the weight room before everybody else even knew what a weight room was. So we were ahead of the curve, and then people catch up, right? So I think.
What do you think about guys at the high school level living in Lincoln and driving to Omaha for school?
Yeah, I mean, evidently Trey said that it's closer than what he was traveling in Chicago or wherever he's from. Trent drove 20 miles a day from Norfolk to Battle Creek. So we opted Trent out of Norfolk and he went to Battle Creek.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, which was, going from a Class A school to a Class C1 or C2 school. But it's also where his mom and dad went to high school. It's kind of, you got to wear his dad's number. That was kind of cool. But, now I'm leaving Illinois and coming to Nebraska for high school. So people are like, well, Dylan did that.
Yeah.
Twice or 3 times. I think he played 4 different high schools, didn't he? Or 3 different. I can't remember. So Dylan Raiola but nobody said anything because he didn't come to Nebraska.
Right.
He didn't go to Millard South and play quarterback. Right. So it's going to be interesting. And I've always said this, Nebraska needs to find a JUCO college that they're in bed with, that, hey, all of our guys that could be potential walk-ons that we would want to develop need to go to this JUCO. So, whether that's Iowa Western or who that is, we need to figure, I think the coaches that figured that out, that, hey, we're going to send these guys, we're going to send Terrell to JUCO for 2 years and let him develop and then bring him in. The hard part is that transfer portal is open.
Yeah.
So, okay, we did it for 2 years in Nebraska. Now you come to Nebraska, you got 4 years left. We've already played 2. Oh, well, they're not going to pay me enough. Somebody else is going to pay me more. And
could have been a long-term plan that goes by the wayside.
It could be. So there's just so many moving parts. And even with these high school kids, I'm sure these guys are getting paid something. You know what I mean? I don't know if Millard South's got a really good booster club.
They've got something going for them, right? So
right.
We'll have to see. All right, that'll wrap it up for the Euler Report, but Todd will be back for the next segment as we wrap up hour number 1 here on Bock the Blackshirt. We'll be right back after this.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Bryant, whatever it takes.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Sometimes good people make mistakes.
When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer
Infrastructure,
Bauer
Underground,
Barrett
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer crews out there working hard throughout the Lincoln and Omaha areas. Guys, it's going to be a quick segment, but when we come back, we're going to break down those Big Ten schedules.
But I missed that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna break them down now.
I got to roll.
You can jump into it a little bit.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I guess I.
Yeah,
if we're gonna.
man, you all
If
have
the first segment we're gonna talk about the schedule, I'll hang around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to talk about that. I was going to talk about Bill Belichick, but we'll save that part for the last couple of segments.
All right.
But, Bock, anything else you got before we really break down the schedules in the next segment?
Yeah, there's a few things to kind of keep in mind as we transition here. We want a quick, nice little quick segment here before we get into the schedule breakdown. A few different notes from today that I thought were interesting. One is Browns have hired Todd Monken as a head coach. I know that is somebody that you've paid close attention to, Terrell, after winning some national championships there at Georgia. Seems like a long time coming, but it's tough to win with the Browns. We'll see if Todd Monken has any more luck.
I think Todd Monken, he's an offensive genius. He's a guy that knows what he wants on offense, and to have Deshaun, what is his name again?
Who, Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson comes back next year, and you have Shedeur Sanders. So, and you have Dylan Gabriel. So he'll have his choice of who he wants to control that team. It's just all about getting the defense right. When we talk about Cleveland Park, you have a good guy, Myles Garrett, who's probably going to be I would say he's the MVP of the league. Despite being a defensive guy, I think he deserves to be the MVP of it. But I like Todd Monken just like I like Joe Brady. Bob, your team still has a coach to find.
That's right.
Don't know who they're going after right now. Hey, and I would like to see Vance Joseph get a shot at one of those two teams, either the Raiders or the Cardinals.
Yeah, we'll see. The Cardinals don't seem to be going down that path. Apparently, Ron Rivera might be somebody that's kind of coming up in their conversation.
Ain't he the CEO of? I mean, he's the something at Stanford, ain't he? Or Cal?
It does. Didn't he? Yeah,
he's the GM at Cal, isn't he?
Yeah, he was the. Let's see, what is it? General manager.
Yeah.
For the University of Cal. So we'll see if maybe that's not getting enough interest for him. He was a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year. So he's definitely got a long history of in being able to take the Panthers to the Super Bowl, all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. It's interesting. At this point, you're not getting the top picks right on the coaching carousel. So you got to pick through and make the right pick. And with Munkin, it's particularly interesting because his head coaching experience is only from his time at Southern Miss from 2013 to 2015. Did well there, but used that head coaching job to get a job with the Bucks as the offensive coordinator. So a little bit different than the other thing. A lot of people are intrigued. Was the Ravens offensive coordinator these last few years after being out there with Georgia. So yeah, it's been a long time coming for him, and we'll see the NFL. Like I said, coaching carousel coming down to it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when you look at Joe Brady, he's a young guy, and he was the offensive genius on that 2019 LSU team. And then you look at Munkin, who was the offensive coordinator at Georgia. I think he's in his 50s or 60s, ain't he, Bob?
Who's that?
Todd Munkin.
Yeah, Todd Munkin now 59. He'll be
59.
60, yeah.
So you got two totally different paths, but at least one day you do make it as a head coach of the NFL.
Yeah, just got to keep the work. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
All right, when we come back, we will break down this schedule. And honestly, I'm going to tell the truth about it.
Yep.
A lot of people say 5-0. I don't think so. We'll talk about that when we get back. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds. An afternoon high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy, a low around 14. And tomorrow, a chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and calm winds, the high near 24. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Window World Wednesday with two-time national champion Todd Euler in the house. All right, guys, I don't know if y'all seen this, but the Big Ten came out with scheduling yesterday, and it's a brutal one for Nebraska. Bock, I'm going to give you the service of reading off the schedule.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. We knew part of this, of course. We knew that we actually knew all the opponents going into this. We just wanted to know the order in which it would happen. And it was going to be hard to avoid a brutal schedule with the opponents that Nebraska had aboard. But let's go ahead and go through it. Of course, we know the non-con knew that going in, but just a reminder where some of these teams are. So they start off against Ohio on September 5th. Ohio will have their third coach in the last 3 years. But was a 9-win team last year, so that won't be likely just a cakewalk. Bowling Green, September 12th. They were not so good last year. I think they're coming off about 4 wins. So hopefully that is the easiest game on the schedule. North Dakota will be September 19th. That was an 8-win team last year, but pushed the likes of North Dakota State, all the best in the FCS, and even Kansas State when Kansas State was ranked. So again, probably going to be another tough matchup there, at least all of those at Memorial Stadium. Then we kicked off our Big Ten slate here, September 26th at Michigan State. Of course, a game that Nebraska won very narrowly this past season. Similar deal to what happened with their next opponent, Maryland. Very close games for both of those for Nebraska this past year. So October 3rd, the second Big Ten game will be Maryland at home. And then it starts. 6 out of their 7 final games will be against teams that won 9 games last year and are either top 25 or at least in that range. October 10th, we'll start off with the defending champion Indiana Hoosiers. The next week at Oregon. So likely 2 top 5 teams there, at least preseason top 5 teams, and might be top 5 teams by the time you hit mid-October there. Indiana and at Oregon, October 17th. Then you get the break. I think the biggest swing game of the year could be Halloween when they take on Washington at home. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's definitely a big game for Nebraska. Then Saturday, we get into November. November has been tough on Husker fans for years and years. Hasn't gotten much better in the Matt Rule era. I believe they're 2-10 in November during Matt Rule's era so far. And again, it will be difficult. You start at Illinois November 7th. Go on the road to a tough Rutgers team at Rutgers November 14th. Then you finish off Ohio State at home November 21st. And, of course, a Black Friday matchup with an Iowa team that has beat you 10 out of the last 11 times.
All right, Bock, July 28th to the 30th, Big Ten Media Day will happen in Chicago this year. So we will be in Chicago this year instead of Las Vegas where they had it at last year. I think they're going to try to do a rotating thing. Bock, let's go prediction-wise when we talk about Nebraska in these games. Let's go around the board. First game, Ohio. W?
Yeah.
You want to start there again? This is their third coach in 3 years.
Yeah. Sounds
Good
like
team.
a victory to me. Bowling Green.
Win.
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Win.
Better beat North Dakota in year 4 Matt Rule, yeah.
Yeah. North Dakota's a good school, though, but could be on upset alert. But, all right, now, Michigan State.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm not going to give a decision on this one yet, because new coach, Pat Fitzgerald. I'm not going to say a victory that easy so far. Bock, what you say about Michigan State?
Yeah, I mean, I have got all the respect in the world for Pat Fitzgerald and what he's done there. But again, this is, I'm kind of torn between either picking games and picking them in a way that kind of that says you got to win this one. Huge Matt Rule game. This is, again, year 4 Matt Rule. I just talked about you can't lose to North Dakota in that game. Well, you can't lose to Michigan State either. You got to be able to come back and beat a year 1 Fitzgerald in East Lansing. I mean, this is after all, and I know how good Pat Fitzgerald has been over the years. But this is the onside kick guy. This is the guy that Nebraska lost to. And I know that's going back years. Maybe that's not fair. But in 2022, that was the one win they had on their schedule. We don't need year 4 Matt Rule losing to that guy in his first year in East Lansing.
It's a must-win game.
All right, Bock. So we're going to say what?
Win.
4-0 right now?
4-0.
Yeah.
All right, Bock. Maryland. The reason I said, now I'm going to say indecisive on this Maryland game because, first of all, they had a great quarterback last year. 2 great freshman defensive ends. We walked out of there with a squeaky one, thanks to the arm of Dylan Raiola. I mean, here's some of the factors that's going to play into my decision on these schedules this year is the running back position. Got to see if that running back position is going to be like it was last year. See if it's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher again, which I don't know yet. So, and then with the receiver wise, we still haven't found that guy that can bust it down the middle and just go up top like a Trey Palmer did. So this Maryland game, Bock, I'm gonna say Maryland on this one, Bock.
You're crazy. At home?
Yeah.
In Memorial Stadium?
You lose games in Memorial Stadium. You don't win them all.
Maryland did lose their last 8 games last year.
Yeah, but still, they play better. They can only get better.
Yeah.
It certainly could be.
Maryland,
I mean, it is a big one.
We beat Maryland.
Don't give so many props to Nebraska, Bockoven. We haven't seen them yet. So
Well, if
seems
Nebraska-
like you're drinking the Kool-Aid a lot early now.
No, I mean, if Nebraska plays like they did those in November, those final 3 games, a lot of these decisions are going to go against them. They definitely need to improve. Again, for me, this is another, when you put it into year 4 Matt Rule terms, this is another big one on the coach because this is a must-win game. You mentioned it. Young team last year, 1-possession game. This time you've got them at home, but you can't just be losing to everybody in the conference. Mike Loxley and Matt Rule knotted up at 1 right now. Mike Loxley every year is on the chopping block potentially to be moved on from Maryland. And again, with a 4-8 team last year, you can't add him to the list. What is it? PJ Fleck now 6-1 against Nebraska, 2-0 against Matt Rule. Kirk Ferentz 3-0 against Matt Rule. 10 out of less 11 against Nebraska. You got to be able to beat some of these coaches. And Mike Loxley is toward the bottom in the Big Ten as far as job security. You're tied up there at 1. Again, I don't expect it to be easy. To Terrell's point, they're a young team. Definitely can build around that quarterback, but you just got to be able to pull that off.
All right, Bach. Let's see the next one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, good luck.
Indiana. L. I'm not even discussing this.
Hell, what do you mean? It's in Memorial Stadium.
I don't care.
I got it. They've lost a lot of people.
Year 3 and Kurt Signetti, it looks like he's only getting better.
They're losing a lot of guys.
Well, you seen their transfer portal?
Yeah, that's
all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
They still got to
But-
put it together.
Yeah, I mean, again, the reason why you go out there and play these games, but as far as predictions, it's going to be tough to convince anybody that Nebraska will beat the defending national champions when they haven't beaten a top 25 team for what it'll be a decade this year.
Oregon.
At Oregon.
Yeah.
Nope.
Similar conversation. That's that's a tough ask at this point.
Washington.
We get a break, right? We get a week
Get
off.
a bye before Washington.
Bye week.
Yeah.
Coming into Washington at home. Tough.
Washington.
Tough. That's going to be a tough
I think
game.
this is maybe the most important game on their schedule if these teams kind of stick where we expect them to be. I think this is the swing game for the season, and you could say it's either going to be a good season or a bad season based off this. I mean, it's Halloween. I think you're going to do the blackout probably. I think they're going to probably build up for that sort of thing. You get the 2-week build coming off 2 top 5 teams. So you either kind of are recovering from maybe embarrassment or riding a high off of beating somebody. They're going to have to take care of Washington for sure. I think this is the swing game of the season. Unfortunately, the swing games of the season haven't always gone Nebraska's way. So again, kind of in the spot of, prove it to me. But if I'm being optimistic here, I can pencil in a tough win if they can scrap it out. But again, that would be among their best wins over the last decade.
All right, Bach. Illinois. Brett Bielema.
Yeah. I mean, they're losing a little bit too. And that's why there's maybe, there were 9-win teams for first back-to-back 9+ win years for Illinois. So Brett Bielema seems to have the program moving in the right direction, but you lose Altmaier, you lose some of those pieces. So, I mean, I think that one is a little bit more open than some of these other 9-win teams that are on the schedule, but it is at Illinois and it is November. And what is Nebraska's record in November? So again, we can optimistically come out here and point to this and that, but at this point, I can't give you that win. You're going to have to go out there and prove it. And again, as we get down through it, I'll see what our final numbers are. But Sipple was a little bit moved this morning because Sean Callahan said the ceiling was about 7 or 8 games with this schedule.
Silly. Oh, well. All right, Bach. Rutgers. Oh, you probably can win that one. I've given that one a win.
Wow.
Rutgers?
Yeah, 5-7 team last year.
Yeah.
On the road.
Maryland was 4-8. We're gonna lose to Maryland, but beat Rutgers. Come on.
Hey, I'm just saying.
He's got a good feeling about
We
Maryland.
got
Doesn't have a good
Maryland at
feeling about
home.
Rutgers.
Yeah.
And Rutgers on the road. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I would give them the win at Rutgers, but again, that's got to be earned, not given, because
Ohio
that's
State.
a tough team. Well, then, yeah, here we're back in the top 5 teams. Yeah. It's at home.
Brutal schedule. Yeah, it's at home. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Hey, you played with Ohio State last time you went to the shoes, so maybe.
Yeah.
But can't predict it.
I can't believe you guys are sitting up here doing this.
What?
Well,
I know
mean,
I'm saying great. Like, it's not going to be a fun game at Memorial Stadium, I don't think. I mean, could it be? Potentially, but
all right.
Highly unlikely.
All right.
And we finished with Iowa. We can't seemingly
you've
beat
got
them.
at Iowa. You lost 10 at 11.
Seemingly
Iowa.
can't beat them.
Yeah, at Iowa. In Iowa City.
Have I said anything about Dylan's? I mean, somebody said Terrell Farley to quit riding Dylan's job. I don't even like Dylan Riota, so you must talking about the wrong Dylan.
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
Yeah. I haven't even said Dylan Riota's name.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he was.
I think you mentioned that he led a comeback, a victory there at the end with the touchdown. But I mean, that's just a fact. There's no.
Yeah.
Over time, I wouldn't say you were the biggest Dylan fan. So
he was talking about the
3 interceptions.
You said the Cleveland
Maryland.
The Cleveland quarterback.
Oh,
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, that's the only Dylan I
you brought
said.
up.
Yeah.
So what are we
jumped on already?
What are we counting up there for our victories?
I'm going the lowest 4-7.
4-7.
Well, there's 12 games, so we're gonna have to add another game in there. So 5-7 or 4-8?
4-8.
4-8.
The lowest. That's the lowest to the ground.
Yeah.
The highest?
The floor and the ceiling.
The highest, probably 75.
I would say we're gonna win minimally 5 games, maximum 8, if we can pull off that Washington game. Like that's just the facts of the schedule right now. I think the least we'll win is 5, and the most we can win is 8.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't have a back that has that Emmett Johnson presence, then
you watch Mekhi Nelson.
You're looking at a long season.
I've been talking about Mekhi for over a year now. Just he didn't get any touches last year. Just watching.
Did he stay or he didn't transfer? Did he?
Here. Yeah, he's here.
The open job there. There should be some playing time finally.
Buck, give me your lowest and give me your highest.
I mean, I'm going to be all over the board with this. Again, because where Nebraska left off, if they play like they did in those final 3 games, they're going to have a tough time winning more than 3 games, right? I mean, so exactly. if it doesn't get any better, then 3. I mean, because I go through it. Ohio could beat you. Don't overlook Ohio. That's a 9-win program from last year. Yes, again, as I mentioned, 3rd coach in 3 years. But as a guy that was their defensive coordinator, he won the bowl game. Okay, so on staff already, that's not one to overlook. And again, North Dakota, they could do the same. They took Kansas State to the brink last year, and Kansas State wasn't a great team. But again, Nebraska wasn't either.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they don't play any better than they did last year, toward the end, it's going to be tough, and they know that. That's why they had to make all these changes, right? But I will go on the opposite route. I know there is. Also, that's why there's a wide range of what could happen. I do think Nebraska is more trending in the wrong direction because of how the season ended. But this is kind of a new team. So if you say you can't replace Emmett Johnson, I don't think they're necessarily going to try to replace that type of player or have that type of impact from the running back position, because now you've got a quarterback that can run around. Now, hopefully this defense can stop a nosebleed.
Well, and I think obviously our offensive line should be.
Offensive line you hope is better.
Upgrade.
Well, we say that, but we
don't
should,
know.
we don't know. We don't know what goes on here in the last 5 to 6 months till camp open up, to what happens in spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that can happen, but just looking off schedule wise,
it's rough.
It's a rough schedule.
It is, but if
cousin neighbor Jake says, is this really where we want to be at in year 4? I mean, it's not, but the football gods have spoken with the schedule.
What is it again? And Sortson mentioned this the other day. Nebraska's not on any list for preseason top 25. They're not. So, you talk about nationally relevant. They didn't win the portal this offseason. They're not going to be in those top 10 lists. Hopefully, the hope is that it all just kind of comes together, and the year 3 Matt Rule building of a program can kind of start to settle in here in year 4. Because again, I don't think maybe at their height, and again, they at least won 7 games last year. We got to give them some credit for at least moving the needle a little bit.
That was the weakest schedule we've had.
It was, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's unfathomable that Nebraska beats Michigan State, Maryland, Washington, Illinois, Rutgers, and maybe even in Iowa. I think I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think it's trending in that direction, but I do think that there is a path to maybe be able to win 8-9 games.
8 games. I think eight's our ceiling. You got Indiana is obviously Indiana. Oregon's been elite. Ohio State's been elite. Those 3 games are
uphill battle. Yeah.
Right. So being able to win one more, and after going Indiana, Oregon back to back, like that could really set some mindset. You know what I mean?
It's a good time for a bye after that.
It's great for a bye, but is it a great for? I mean,
maybe if you get blown out in those 2 games, it might be tough. I see what you're saying.
It's tough. Like that is rough going back to back with that. And then playing Ohio State the week before we have to play Iowa.
Yeah,
could be beat up pretty good.
6 days rest. Yeah,
I don't obviously see how the schedule could be any harder.
it's pretty much the gauntlet. It
is
in the Big Ten. Once again, 6 out of their final 7 games against teams that won 9 games last season.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it certainly will. There were some other interesting notes too along that lines in the Big Ten as far as scheduling goes. By the way, Sean Callahan on early break this morning also said that look out for Michigan State, Illinois potential Friday night game, probably one or the other. There, once again, that Michigan State game would be on the road, and so would the Illinois game. And likely, when you only have 4 home games in the Big Ten, they're not going to move one of those in Lincoln because of the impact to the community and all that to a Saturday, a home game to a Friday night. So as you look at those, that would be November 7th. That'd be a late Friday game there for the Illinois game. But Big Ten, for some reason, likes Nebraska and Illinois to play on Friday night. But Callan was saying perhaps the more likely one would be the initial Big Ten game on a Friday night at Michigan State, which would be Friday, September 25th, potentially. You guys on board for more Friday football?
No, I hate Friday night.
No, yeah.
That's high school football time. I want to go watch high school football.
Hey, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
For somebody. The other interesting part is, again, we look at it from the other teams' schedules were released. Iowa's Big Ten opens up at Michigan, Ohio State, and at Washington. That's the bad news. The good news is they finished the final 6 games against the old Big Ten West opponents. And remember, they've had some success once they get to November. Iowa is 23-5 since 2019 in November. And again, they won't have their biggest opponents then. Nebraska, if you want to know the same record since 2019 in November, 5-22. Wow. And again, Matt Rule 2-10. So kind of setting up as Iowa usually does. I can't say it's completely for them because it's tough to start with that Michigan and Ohio State. But as usual, the Big Ten schedule makers did do Iowa a little bit of a favor there. Indiana has Ohio State and at Michigan back-to-back this year, so look out for that for the defending national champs. Potentially its easiest schedule. Penn State's isn't too difficult. They've got USC and at Michigan, but their final 5 games are Purdue, at Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, and at Maryland. Wisconsin.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, it's easier, right? The Big Ten, there's no gimmies.
No gimmies. I get it.
Wisconsin's potentially battling their Penn State. If you're looking for teams with softer schedules, they open with Notre Dame. But as far as in conference, their hardest opponents are USC and at Iowa.
That's it.
Those are the toughest ones as I kind of bring it down. Yeah, I can pull up Wisconsin's schedule.
I think Wisconsin has got an easy one. They have Notre Dame.
Right.
Is that? I don't know what Bulldog that is. Is that
San Jose State?
I don't know. Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, probably a lower level.
Penn State, Michigan State, UCLA, USC, Iowa, Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, Minnesota.
I mean, that's basically Nebraska's schedule from this year, though.
Yeah.
So you'd say it's easy, but that's what Nebraska went through.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go to break. Euler, we're going to see you next week. Yep. Thank you for the Euler Report and Window World Wednesday here on 93.7. The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt will be right back.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Sports Show. Don't miss the family show of outdoor fun, the 57th annual Boat Sport and Travel Show, January 30th to February 1st at the Sandhills Global Event Center. RVs, boats, docks, golf carts, resorts, fishing lures, family entertainment, and more. See exotic animals at Wildlife Encounters. Enjoy the petting zoo and the balloon lady. Doors open at noon on Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Bring the neighbors. See you there. Sports Show.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds. An afternoon high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy, a low around 14. And tomorrow, a chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and calm winds, the high near 24. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Bock?
Yes, it is a good time here to be in Lincoln. As we know, Nebraska basketball almost getting it done last night against Michigan. We opened up the show talking about that, and then we got into the Nebraska football schedule here in the past half an hour. And it's funny, I want to address this. We got a text here from Hizzlebear, a longtime texter into the station. Says, going to be a long summer. Talking about this team the way you guys are. Would rather drink Kool-Aid for 8 months and be disappointed over just being disappointed for the next 10 months. It is not a great position to be in one way or the other when you have to acknowledge that if you will be getting excited about the team, that it might be some Kool-Aid there. But it is a position I think all of us are kind of in with Nebraska football. Is you're going to have to prove it. When you look at this schedule, it's just tough to say, start to do your little put the wins next to some of the names that Nebraska hasn't beat recently, or the type of teams that Nebraska hasn't beat. So, I get it. And trust me, I've been thinking about it. I've been worried about it getting through this summer and this offseason talking about Nebraska football, because it just didn't leave you with a whole lot of momentum. But you gotta kind of, I guess, decide which side you're going to be on. Do you want to drink the Kool-Aid? Do you want to buy in and be hurt again? Or, potentially this time the Kool-Aid would pay off and Nebraska takes that step forward. Or do you want to kind of maybe be more in the realist conversation, I suppose, of saying that just did not look good toward the end of last season. You hope the moves, again, have been made and put in place to, you don't want to call it retool or reset or whatever the team, but get them back in their winning ways. But there's just a lot of change and not a lot of momentum going into this offseason. So, Terrell, I don't know about you. I know how we've approached it thus far, but I think if you're leaning too far into, hey, Nebraska's going to win 9 or 10 games this year without really giving, I mean, you'd have to tell me how. You'd have to, and I'd love to hear it. I think it's going to be a tough sell at this point. I mean, I can, as I did, you can get there if you're just going to give Nebraska all the games that are 50-50 or 60-40 and swing them in Nebraska's way. You could convince me that they could, Illinois might be down a little bit, might beat Washington on that big swing game. Maybe this is the year for Iowa, but all that stuff to happen at once, unlikely. But then again, look at the Nebraska basketball team for motivation. That's definitely a program that has been down for the longest time. And the thought process was when they do win a tournament game or get there, it would have to be through sneaking into the tournament and somehow, finding a way as a lower seed, 7 through 11 seed or something to get a win. And Nebraska basketball has risen up and looks like they're going to have a high seed this year. So it can be done. I think it's hard to talk real with people right now and be overly optimistic with where Nebraska football is positioned.
Yeah, but when a lot of people are not gonna like radio talk or even just media guys in general when we talk about Nebraska because the seriousness of this schedule, and when we talk about the portal additions, when we talk about what we got out of the portal to what other people have out of the portal, you have to think about combinations of talent of other teams and what do we have. I'm just basing this off schedule wise, and there's nothing wrong with probably going back in August and changing it because it could be changed. It's not written in stone that we're gonna go 5-7 or 7-5. So you have to look at that part of it, Bach, when we talk about this schedule part. But you got to look at the way we've been playing the last 3 weeks of the season. You got to look how we played in the bowl game. You got to look at some of the coaching staff changes we had. You have to look at Eckler leaving out, new defensive coordinator, new defensive line coach, new defensive guys. Probably going to have a whole new starting 8 on defense when we look at that part. But at the same time, this is Big Ten. It's rough to play in this league. And if we are still not taught to be physical, then we're going to be just in the same position we were last year.
Yeah, and again, I think that's especially where it can be tough to get optimistic is where Nebraska was on the front lines last year when that was kind of a concern going into the year. It ended up being the biggest problem again for a team and a program that has struggled in November for the longest time. And again, I don't want to highlight it or be the bad guy, but I just don't understand how we went from those results to a big raise for the strength and conditioning program. Maybe it's going to kick in here. At some point. But again, all this maybe and hopefully and this and that, a lot of that stuff, at least the pressure of it is erased by the Kurt Signettis of the world that are able to do it right away. Now, I understand he could be an outlier, but last year was the year to kind of expect that year 3 Matt Rule, right? And it was all kind of under, the Dylan Raiola era, if you will. And you had a different, like you said, different defensive coordinator. And then, so you make all these moves, but I think a lot of it through the staff changes of the first 3 years of Matt Rule, he's kind of lost the benefit of the doubt. You can be excited about certain hires. I like Jeep Wade. I mean, I think Rob Orich is certainly a top 5 defense. I mean, maybe all of this stuff transfers over and connects well, but the problem is and if you look at it, and we've got a message here, Calandria. Adam says Calandria is he going to be a game changer? Could be. I mean, so all this could swing in the right direction for Nebraska, but to project it to would take a whole nother leap of faith in my mind. So just to go through some of the text messages so far.
Hold on,
go ahead. Yeah,
you said Rob
Orich
is a top what?
Had a top 5 defense.
Top 5
defense statistically last year. These are stats.
Okay,
I can't change anything about it. But that, and that's what I think too. I think a lot of people. You got to pick. Part of this process is picking guys that can help. When you bring them up to the Big Ten level. And so I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, but Nebraska would be well positioned to win the Mountain West next year. You got a top 5, the best defensive coordinator from the league, the best quarterback from the league, from the past year offensive player. And that's good, right? I mean, there's something to that, but it's not going to necessarily translate to Nebraska or maybe as quickly as you want it. Now, it might. I mean, look at Curtis Rourke. That was a former MAC player of the year that Signetti brought in, and it worked there at Indiana from Ohio. So, I mean, the path can be done. I mean, it certainly all could come together, but it just, again, with where they left off and your level of belief, like I praise people that say at this point and still kind of say, hey, I believe in where this thing is going. I like the program direction, all that sort of stuff. Did you watch the last 3 games? I mean, hopefully they can kind of flush all that away and get it going. But to say that you are 100% confident where this program is going, I would say I'm intrigued by it. I wouldn't say I'm completely confident in it. But again, going back to this text line to kind of get some of your thoughts too. 2086 says, well, then just say that we need to fire and start over again. Again, I don't think you're there, but you're not too many more blowouts away from being there, and you're not a bad season away from being there. Then that's when you're in that position, then you're not going to get a whole lot of preseason love.
Hey, you make it through that record 7-5, you give a raise out.
Yeah, get the next raise.
Yeah,
certainly could be. Cubsker says we'll be lucky, in my opinion, to win 5 games. Bone says eventually just a bowl appearance can't be satisfying. They need to do more. Again, Pack fan says they'd be lucky to go 4-8. Losses. Corey says losses to the big 3: Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon should be assumed. We certainly don't have Iowa's numbers, so presumed 4 losses at minimum. And that's, I think, again, is the problem. John Callahan and Steve Sipple were kind of going through it this morning, is that even ceiling-wise, even if you're trying to be looking at this through rose-colored glasses, it's a tough get to 8. But it is a different day in college football, too. And I think we kind of have our different, caps on maybe from a few years ago. If Nebraska goes 8-4 in this schedule, they could be top 25. Iowa was 8-4 this past year and was top 25 before they won that 9th game. In fact, top 20 before they won that 9th game against Vanderbilt in the bowl game. Now, obviously, what Iowa did was play incredibly close games against those top 3 teams in the nation, or teams in that category. And so Nebraska would have to do that to be in that category. But again, I hate to say it, that text from Bones, eventually just a bowl appearance can't be satisfying. When I look at this schedule, another thing that I look at is you've got to have 6 wins by the time Ohio State and Iowa come around. Yeah. And that's to get bowling. And that's not a position Nebraska wants to be in again, right? I mean, we don't want to be coming on to the end of the season and barely scraping together a bowl game. But if you don't have 6 wins by then, again, things could get pretty ugly here. And that Rutgers game, November 14th, again, after that would be Ohio State and at Iowa. And it'd be pretty redeemable, respectable to get to 6 wins by then. But I think they're going to have to kind of keep all that bowl, will they make a bowl game stuff at bay.
Well, Bob, it's the Kurt Cincinnati rule that messed everything up in college football now. Because if you're not getting it done in 2 years, nobody cares. Kurt Cincinnati did it in 2 years, Bob. He didn't do anything magical. He's no magician. I mean, he's no recruiting guru. I mean, what did he do so special to have him up there in 2 years, and now we're in year 4 or year 5? Year 4.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can point to his JMU circle. You can point to his transfer portal, getting guys that have played, proven production out of the portal. But again, these aren't methods that are so earth-shattering. These are methods a lot of people make and do over time. But he was able to do it to the highest efficiency. Again, with him, and it's a lost art in college football with all the transfer portal movement. How is he? I mean, he's just able to get the best out of these guys. You look at D'Angelo Pons, you look at, who's not built or ready to be an all Big Ten quarterback and necessarily a 5'8" cornerback. And he's going to be probably a top day 3 pick or top 2 day 2 pick. And that just goes everywhere. I mean, he developed everybody. And that's, again, when you want to get into that conversation of where do you, and I always go back to, you believe or do you hope in Coach Matt Rule at this point in time? And if you believe, you need to be able to show some of the categories. Now, I think there are guys that he's picked out that have helped this team. And, from the Kenneth Williams, and James Williams might not be the most popular, but names like that might not otherwise have made it to a Division I roster. So you got to give credit where it's due here and there. But at the same time, is his development over the first 3 years, is that the reason why you think that this team is going to take a big step forward? I would say it hasn't been quite on that pace. But again, one more text I kind of like here. 007 says, I'm sorry, but why would you spend $20+ million on a roster in hopes to go 6-6? There's no hopes to go 6-6. I'm not telling from inside those offices. I hope they think they can go 12-0. But from the outside in, they're not going to get the benefit of the doubt from most prognosticators anymore, because they lose the benefit of the doubt every time. Every time there's a 50-50 ball game, generally. I mean, they, again, just haven't won enough of those to get that.
All right, Bob, let's go to break. When we come back, Real Life Chuck has a great one. He says, could Cignetti do it in Nebraska? We'll find out next when we come back from Bock the Blackshirt. Last segment coming up before we give way to Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with Old School.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essing on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. You coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds. An afternoon high around 34. Tonight, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy, a low around 14. And tomorrow, a chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and calm winds, the high near 24. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Real Life Chuck said a question before we went to break, Bock. He said, could Cincinnati do it in Nebraska? I think so. Indiana was in a worse spot than Nebraska was, so I believe some of your favorite players won't be on this team because he does it his way. I think he could, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to doubt. Again, that's what made this story so magnificent, so large, so big, is for college football fans to watch a program like that. I mean, there's just programs that historically are hard to win at, and we've seen a few of them kind of get going. You know, the Iowa States of the world, the Kansases that was in the dredges for the longest time. You know, Vanderbilt's obviously, you know, Wake Forest, those type of names that just kind of stick around. And Indiana, along with Northwestern, you know, has been that in the Big Ten and in the losingest program in college football history, and nobody could get it going. So that's part of the story. If you doubt Curt Cignetti could win at any school at this point, it's hard to doubt, because that's what he did. He proved it can be done anywhere in much less time than we expected. Again, I go back to some of my all-time legends that I think were absolutely incredible and would have loved to see them out of Texas, out of USC, out of Florida, you know, in a Bill Snyder from Kansas State, or I'm certainly, you know, you think of Frank Beamer for Virginia Tech, some of those guys that brought those programs up. The magnificent thing is that Cignetti finished the story, won the championship, got it done. So I think he could win at Nebraska. I think he could win anywhere.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Johnny Cortland says, hell yes, he could. Word out. Bones said, I believe he could. He scouts his players to his need. He develops players. He's about coaching his players, not pumping them up through social media. Yeah, he's not a social media guy. Curt Cignetti is about business. He said he doesn't ask his coaches to spend 15 to 12 hours at a job. He asks them to come in from 7 to 5, and if what they don't have done, you know, then they face him. But, you know, just the way he's done it in 2 years, he probably could go to Idaho State and do the same thing.
Well, at least for their level, whatever level it would be, I would expect it to happen. But unfortunately, there's no Curt Cignetti coming in to save Nebraska. It's hopefully going to be Matt Rule, and it might not be the feel like the best time in the world to make that proclamation. But sometimes, as we saw with this Nebraska basketball team, I hate to kind of keep going back to it. Matt Rule's even kind of said he's going to try to do what Fred Hoiberg did. But their last loss before last night was the 5th of 5 straight that got them out of the Big Ten tournament took them out of NCAA tournament contention. And so sometimes it does not look like it's just going to you're ready to make the turn, and it does. So hopefully that's the case with Nebraska football as well.
Funniest one right here today, Bock. 1134 says, I usually don't care for other team coaches, for other teams, but I got to say, if coaches in CFB had jerseys, I'd buy me a big, sick jersey.
Signetti jersey. I don't know. Even maybe you can do a costume with your eyebrow raised and some glasses or something, but no jerseys.
And one more thing about what we talked about yesterday, the headphones are going for $12,000.
Oh, they moved
now.
up. Okay,
$12,500 now. The Kurt Signetti National Championship. What they call those things? The
headsets.
The headset.
Yeah.
So $12,500. 93.7 the ticket. This is Bock the Blackshirt. Keep listening to us. We're going to get better and better each day. Up next, Old School with Jay Foreman, Oscar Orman. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And